Welcome home. This is the Residency Podcast. I am Jeff Tomasic with Drew Belcher and Lo Raven.
Hello.
Bringing you the biggest guests and stories in entertainment, business, pop culture, and sports from our studio on the Las Vegas Strip inside the Mandalay Bay. Make sure to subscribe on Apple, Spotify, and YouTube. This episode is brought to you by Mandalay Bay. The NFL season has been nothing but spectacular so far, so do not forget that the Bud Light Beer Garden between Mandalay Bay and Luxor is the only place to enjoy the pregame and postgame for all the Raiders games. Mark your calendars for the Eagles versus Raiders game October 24th. Tons of food, music, big guest experiences, and we will be there all the time to hang out with you guys. Michelob Ultra Arena at Mandalay Bay is your headquarters for the best live boxing in Vegas. Jamal James headlines an incredible card on October 30th, and Terrence Crawford will defend his WBO welterweight title November 20th against the number one contender, Sean Porter. As always, come see us at our studio in the Mandalay Bay Sportsbook anytime. We are here. We want to see you. We're back with another episode.
Here we go.
I'm feeling good today.
I love it.
Feeling good. We have another amazing guest in the building today, Mr. Funk Master himself, UFC bantamweight champion Aljamain Sterling. Welcome to the show,
Yes,
man.
sir.
What's
Thanks
up?
for having me.
Vegas local.
I am a Vegas local.
There
now.
we go.
Vegas
There we
local.
go. I like it.
Didn't have to travel too far.
I love that. Yeah,
yeah.
he flew all the way in from downtown. Where do you live, by the way? What side of town? You don't have to say specifically.
Southern Highlands off of like Blue Diamond Road.
Okay,
That's perfect.
yeah.
Boom.
Do you
We're all
love-
neighbors.
Yeah, we're all
Yeah,
neighbors.
yeah. It's a nice
Why not?
area. Really nice area.
It's
Except
great.
for this guy.
Yeah.
Do you love living in Vegas? How long has it been?
I bought the house last year, August. So far, so good, and no complaints, man. I know the summers can be pretty hot, but I don't think it's that bad. Coming from New York, I'm like, I could deal with this over that humidity any day of the week.
For sure.
Here's how we know if you're like really actually enjoy living in Vegas. When people say, where are you from? Do you say New York or Vegas?
Oh, I say New York.
Yeah, he's only
of
been
course,
here a
of
year.
course.
I
Come
gotta
on.
say, I gotta-
You gotta hold it down.
We haven't
gotta
reached that
represent.
level yet.
Yeah.
I'm from New York, but I live in Vegas. That's
Yeah, that's the right call,
All right,
for
at least
sure.
we know. We'll earn it one day. We got a couple more years to go. First off, can we get an explanation on the Funk Master nickname?
So, wrestled a lot in high school, college, and my style was very unorthodox. My teammates would always call me Funky, and Ben Askren was fighting, I think, right before I started fighting, and I mimicked a lot of my style from him. I would watch his videos on Flow Wrestling and all that, and jot down notes, take it to the wrestling room, work on stuff, and I try to be like the mini funk guy, you know? So
Yeah.
from there, I just asked my teammates. Before I was the Spartan, I was the Wolf. I was also the Smackdown. I don't know what that
The
was.
Smackdown.
I like that
Yeah,
one.
yeah, as an amateur fighter, I had like a bunch of different nicknames, and
I like the Wolf, by the way.
The
That's
Wolf
a good
was
one.
hot,
Yeah.
the Wolf was like, I don't know, and then the Spartan was like, everyone's a Spartan, and then the Smackdown was just hilarious.
Yeah.
And they actually called me the Smackdown for one of the fights, which I thought was hilarious. But yeah, so I asked my teammates, what do you guys think? And we didn't want to take Funky because that's Ben Funky Askren, and we kind of all came up collectively with the Funk Master, and it just kind of stuck.
It just stuck.
That's hot. No, it's cool.
I mean,
Different, you know?
Yeah, it's different. It's
You
not like a
something.
DJ. Well, it's like Funk Master.
Funk Master Flex.
Yes.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
With
Yeah, you
Fun
gonna-
Master Flex?
Yeah,
you don't
you're
remember his
gonna-
name?
Is
Come
Funk
on.
Master Flex going to send you a lawsuit anytime soon, or are you good?
You know what? I get tagged by not him, but his like fans and stuff often. Whenever
Just accidentally, they type
yeah,
at
they're
Funk
at
Master?
shows or something, or they're listening to his music and they tag him for the radio show, and I just go thanks.
Thanks for the love.
You li-
Yo, man, you
You
really
like that,
killed it
right?
last night. Man. No problem, man. No problem. Yeah, take the credit. We had Jay Cutler on here one time.
And Brandon Marshall.
Yeah, bodybuilder Jay Cutler
Yeah.
and Brandon Marshall too. And bodybuilder Jay Cutler said he used to get tweets all the time on Sundays when quarterback Jay Cutler would do good or bad. He was like, man,
Yeah.
my Twitter would get flooded. People were talking so much shit to me. He's like, I couldn't help it. I had to shut off Twitter on Sundays.
Yeah.
It was so bad. But Funk Master Flex, that's a good one. That's a good collab. Can we get a collab going maybe? Like a song? Can you get a feature?
Maybe.
Yeah, play
Okay.
for the name. Like they did that.
Yeah, play for
we,
the name.
We asked Brandon Marshall, we're like, yo, if you had to go up against Brandon Marshall in a game, what would it be? He would go, Connect 4. Yeah. So you have to pick a
We'll
game.
figure something out
We'll
for
figure
Funk
something
Master
for you
Flex.
guys. Yeah.
All right, speaking of New York, we read that you have a huge family.
Yes.
You grew up with 7 siblings and 12 half siblings. Is that right?
I gotta
Somewhere around there.
carry the one,
yeah.
something like that.
Fair
you know,
enough.
Pretty close.
Did your UFC training start essentially when you were a kid, like fighting off your brothers and sisters?
100%, man. We'd have battles. We'd have these things where we do like these fake WWE matches in the house. We'll have like the 2 mattresses and we'll take the comforter, we'll put pillows underneath the comforter, and we'll have the comforter in between the mattress, and then we'll have the tape of the fake belt, paper champ.
Yeah.
But we'll have
The
that,
paper champ.
Paper champ.
The paper
we'll have
champ.
that on the ceiling, and then we have tables, ladders, and chairs matches
Oh
in the
my
house.
Tables,
God.
ladders, and chairs.
Oh.
Real tables and
My
chairs.
sister
too.
had to play too, so she got beat up a lot.
You having ladder matches in the house?
That's
Yeah,
sick.
it was. We had a lot of.
That's the real
beatdowns, man.
SmackDown.
Yeah.
Right, that's where you get the real
Sorry,
SmackDown
really.
name for.
We'd fight each other. We'd jump each other. You had to go run and hide so you didn't get beat up too badly. So it was a very interesting time growing up, and I think definitely for sure I probably learned to fight early from just my older brothers and sisters.
I would
trying
say
to beat us
so.
up.
Where are you in the age gap here? That's a big gap.
I'm like the 7th oldest from the last time I checked.
There you go, there you go.
Just somewhere in the middle at this
Yeah,
point?
Yeah, yeah.
So who technically is the lifelong paper belt champ of the house? Who's the last person to win it, I guess?
I don't know. That's a good question. You know, everyone's probably gonna say them, but I'm gonna say I did.
Okay,
There
yeah,
you
you should.
go.
100%.
That's the right answer.
100%.
Bantamweight and paper champ.
Yeah, for sure.
I love that. Okay, I mean, by the way, I come from a family of 2. Like, I have 1 sibling, so I cannot imagine what a house like that is like. Are you a big
Crazy.
family guy now? Like, is that how you want your
No,
future to be?
absolutely not.
The exact
Yeah,
opposite?
I want the exact opposite. It's just total chaos. Kids fighting over the remote, fighting over the one laptop. Not laptop, back then it was a desktop.
Yeah.
AOL back then.
I feel like bathrooms.
Dial-up.
I feel like
Yeah.
you're fighting over bathrooms at that point. you know?
Bathrooms,
Getting
trying
ready.
to be the first in the shower, trying to get the most food. A lot. You know, so we fought, we scrapped, man. We got a lot of scars and stuff. My brother has a chipped tooth from me swinging off the bunk bed and accidentally, maybe on purpose,
May or
taking
not
his
be a
teeth
purpose.
in, and yeah, he had a chipped tooth for life now, and still there. He always tells me like, "You remember you did this?" I'm like, "Yeah, you don't have to keep reminding me."
Allegedly. No
Allegedly.
refs. No
Yeah,
refs in the
refs.
building, you know?
Yeah.
All right, can we go back to your fighting career and see how that transition? Obviously, the foundation was the family here, you know? But professionally, what was that transition like going from Cage Fury to the UFC? Is that like getting caught up to the majors? Like, what was that feeling like?
You know what? I feel like Cage Fury did a great job of putting on really good shows where it seemed like a big show. And I always tell our guys this. I'm like, I know our coach has some type of like friendship with the matchmaker from Ring of Combat. They're another great promotion, big promotion. A lot of guys have gone to the UFC after going through the Ring of Combat gauntlet. But I think in terms of the value that you get from production, the lighting, everything, I think CFFC just made it seem closer to the UFC that when I got there, it didn't feel too foreign for me when
That's
I
dope.
was
Okay.
into the octagon, making the walk. Obviously, my first debut fight was actually at the Mandalay Bay, which
Oh,
is insane.
Here we are.
And we come full circle, you know?
Yeah. So, you know, I made my debut here, and to see that arena, how big it was, I mean, obviously that's way bigger than a Cage Fury event over at the resorts or Borgata. It's just very different, you know? So to have some type of similarities in terms of the lighting, it didn't feel like you're kind of just like stuck like a deer in headlights kind of thing. So I felt like I kind of got adjusted to that early, and it was cool, you know? So I think they helped me get ready for the big stage relatively early than my skill set might have actually showed. Because I was more of a grappler, you know? I didn't
Sure.
really strike all too often. It was
Right.
strike just enough to get the fight to the ground.
Yep.
Was the business, did that change at all when you went from Cage Fury to UFC? Or was it pretty much the same, you know? Or did it just feel way more intense?
You know, I wrestled since 10th grade all the way through college, and we did that for free. We cut weight, we lost weight week after week for free, getting our bodies beaten up and broken up and all that. Wrestling is a very brutal sport on the human body. I think it's probably harder to do than actually just doing MMA. And I try to explain that to people. They're like, how, you getting punched? I'm like, it's a different type of grind on your body where it's just so different. A lot of pulling, pushing, tugging on the head, choking each other. There's a lot that goes on where you could kind of drill in MMA and make it very, very easy, very, very light. Where this is just like, man, guys are hammering each other day after day, and we'd go hard all the way up until Friday, the day before matches. So coming back, I actually forgot what the question was.
No, like the business transition.
Oh, the business, yeah. So I felt like now doing MMA, I'm actually getting paid to do this. So it was like, oh, this is dope. Like I'm actually getting. My first fight was $500. I made $250 to the show, $250 to win. I was like, oh, I'm rich. And I had just a great time and great experience actually being able to compete and actually make money from it. So it was cool, you know.
Way better than zero. 500 is more than zero.
Yeah, for
It
sure.
is.
Even
And-
250.
Yeah. So that was a very interesting time. And then when I got to the UFC and I started getting hurt a little bit more through hard training sessions, and I'm like, all right, your mindset starts to shift. Where it's more like, this was fun, but now I start to have the mindset of, this is prize fighting. There is a business plan involved in all of this, because at one day it all comes to a halt, you know? It's not like wrestling. You could wrestle for probably a much longer time in terms of like your brain, because you're not getting punched, where it gets to a point you keep getting knocked out, that chin is gone. You can't compete anymore, you know what I mean? So you got to make those smart decisions and look out for number one. And I start to realize that earlier rather than later, just looking at my former peers that were older, been in the game longer, and you kind of see how they went with that roller coaster of a career and where they were, where they're at towards the end, what they have to show for it. And thankfully, I think I was smart enough to kind of realize that and realize it's a business more than it is. It is definitely entertainment, but it's also a lot of business, and you got to be in. For me, I'm in the Aljamain Sterling business, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
Got to get that name out. That's why that Weekly Scraps podcast
Yes,
is out
sir.
there. You know
Yes,
what I mean?
sir. It is,
There you go.
exactly.
Tune it in, guys. Weekly Scraps. Go see our guy. Speaking of how massive the fights are now, you had another big moment this year. Were you more nervous coming out for your UFC title fight or proposing to your girlfriend?
Two.
There's definitely a right and a wrong answer.
Yeah, there is, for sure.
Yeah.
We snuck that one in there. We snuck it in
Get
there.
stuck.
I'm definitely more nervous for proposing to my girl.
Good answer.
For sure.
Okay.
Right answer. That's the right answer. That's the right answer. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, there you go. There's one that you get in trouble
That's
for. There's
you.
one that, yeah.
That's for you.
For sure.
How'd that go down, by the way? Congratulations.
Thank you. So we started dating, what was it, 10 years, 2011, officially January 1st. And it's funny because she actually asked me after I asked her like 3 times, and I was like, you know what? I'm tired of asking. I'm not asking again. I'm over this. You just let me know what you want to do. And she asked me on New Year's Day, which was, I was like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
I guess, you know, we're here. And it was very nerve-wracking, though, because I thought, I was like, man, I'm going to do this. It's going to be so smooth. I had this whole thing planned out in my head. It's like, yeah, I'm going to knock the utensils off the table accidentally, and I'm going to go pick
Go
it
down
up.
a knee.
Take out the rock.
Oh, you had the whole movie scene?
Yeah,
dude?
it's going to be
Oops.
so cool,
Oops.
man. And as soon as the time came, I started like fumbling everything. I was like, oh, this is not going great. This is not going the way I expected.
Not as smooth as you thought.
Yeah. I'm like, all of a sudden I start getting hot. I'm like, yo, let's get.
She's like, what's going on?
Yeah. she
Knocked
was
off my
like-
minestrone
She literally
soup.
said, what's wrong with you? I was like, I don't know.
Love it. Yeah, oh no.
And I had the camera girl waiting. I was like, I'm going to scratch my head. When I do one of these, that's the time to bring out the camera. And she actually looked back at her, and she still didn't like connect the dots.
Oh,
and then
damn.
I stood up, and I was like, all right, I just got to go. And it just
It
happened.
just made it happen.
There you go.
All right. It's happened.
So I think I kind of saved it. I don't know. Maybe.
I mean, it worked. She said yes. That's
Yeah,
all
she
that
said
matters,
yes.
right?
Yes is what matters,
That's
bro.
all that matters.
That's all
The
that
process. Trust the process. All right, that's great. By the way, I've been there, so I understand. I did that. I did the whole situation. I haven't walked out for a UFC title fight, but I have proposed.
Yeah. He knows what one of
I'm
those
definitely
feels
going to
like.
say that's by far more nerve-wracking than the
For
UFC
sure,
title
for
fight
sure.
because I haven't done the other one. Speaking of walking out to a title fight, you're the current bantamweight champion of the world right now.
Yes, sir. Congrats, man. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Did becoming the champion feel like you had always imagined it?
Not at all. Not at all. It's you know, the way I equated the way I won the belt is playing roulette at the casino and betting on your favorite numbers and then getting 000.
Sure.
That's how I felt. I was
Sure.
like, this is the craziest turn of events. As they're announcing our names, I thought it was going to be a no contest because they never do disqualifications.
Yeah, there was
even
some
though when
controversy, yeah.
it's needed. I think they should be doing more of it because you can't keep letting guys bend the rules and go unpenalized. You know, you should get penalized for your actions. And fortunately for this time, the ref realized that was as blatant as it gets. I mean, what else do you need the guy to do?
Right.
It just kind of sucked because the way I envisioned it for so long, I was like, man, it's going to be the greatest moment of my life, and it happened like that, and it just sucked, you know? So, fortunately for me, the best way I look at it is I get an opportunity to do it all over again, and this time I'll actually be healthy. And I've had these neck pains from back in college when I got dumped on my head, and I've got well-documented MRIs and CAT scans from 2014 when I made my debut, you know? So to have to deal with that for so long as an athlete and still performing at the way I did, and it got progressively worse, you know, I was just fortunate that I finally got it taken care of, and I'm in a much better place now. I can sleep, I can drive.
That's dope.
I can stand for long periods of time and not have neck pains radiating down my arm, down to my back. It's just like, and then after that last fight, I had some atrophy. And they tried to rush me back to take the rematch, which was really quick, especially being off of that type of shot and all the damage I took in that fight. That was the most damage I think I've taken in any fight. Probably my entire UFC career. That was the most shots I've ever taken in my life, you know? And to have that, such a quick turnaround, I think it was nice that it wasn't nice. It would have been cool if I had more time to just heal up and get my body to where it needs to be. Fortunately, now they've given me that opportunity, and I'm thankful for that because now this is the best I've ever felt in a very, very long time, and I couldn't be happier about that. So I can sleep better at night, you know? Because before it kind of felt a little rushed. I know they really wanted the rematch. It was obviously controversy.
Sure.
It sells. People want to remove all doubt. You know, I had my excuses, and they're excuses, but at the end of the day, if you ask me what happened and I tell you what happened, you can't be mad at me telling you what actually happened. If you ask for it and I'm telling you, what do you want me to do? You know, that's the way I felt about it. And I'm just blessed that I have an opportunity to right the ship and show everyone that I didn't get here by accident. I didn't get no easy handouts. I fought all the best guys. I didn't get to fight the number 8 or 6 ranked guy in the world, coming off of a loss for a title shot after beating a guy that was 42 years old and respectfully, Uriah Faber, legend, but not the same guy.
Yeah.
You know, I had to fight the number 1 contender who was ranked way higher than both those guys fighting for a world title.
Yep.
You know, so you can make the argument that I should have been the champ, and I should have been having my first title defense against Peter Yan, and whatever. It is what it is. I don't make the rules, and again, I get the chance to right the ship.
No, absolutely.
All right, so are you excited for the opportunity to do that? Like, are you looking forward to? Like, are you satisfied right now with it, or are you just like, I can't wait to do it again and prove everybody? That's how it would have gone down anyways.
Yeah, that's the way I do feel. I feel like
rad.
I know myself. I know what I've done. No one could ever take away. I think I got the second most wins in the bantamweight division, tied probably with last time I checked it was tied with Uriah Faber and somebody else. TJ Dillashaw was the first guy on that list, but outside of all those guys, I know I was up there. And like for people to try to discredit what I've done, it doesn't make any sense. You know, so.
Speaking of TJ, so he came out and said that he thinks that your neck injury is something that you might never be able to come back from. And I know you responded to that.
Second, I am second.
What does your future look like in the UFC? Obviously, you sound super confident right now that you're going to come in and be better than you've ever been before. Is that what you think?
I think so. You have Chris Weidman, who had the same procedure. You had the kid Tristan Connolly, who had the same procedure. He actually just got another one done. Because his was so bad, and that's the same thing I was dealing with. But thankfully, this procedure has made my C5, C6 better from taking off the pain, or what would you call it, alleviating the pain from the compression from the C6, C7.
Yeah.
So it helped to actually straighten my spine, getting that level done. So I do think I will be back for sure. I can't see how not. You know, I'm having good success in the room. The only thing is the duration of that success. It's very, very short-lived, you know? And that's why I had to pull out of the fight, because I'm like, dude, what do you guys want me to do? You guys want me to show up again, a shell of myself, and say, oh, I told you this guy is not better than Peter Yan? Like, let both of us come in at 100% and do it the right way and really show who's the better guy. That's what I'm in this for. You know, I want to fight the best guys. I want to fight the TJ Dillashaw's. I want to fight the Jose Aldos, who's looked great of late.
Yeah.
The Rob Fons, the Garbrands. I want to fight all those guys. I fought already some of the best guys, Pedro Munoz, Sandhagen, Cody Stamen, I fought guys always on win streaks. Never fought anyone that was losing. I fought the undefeated Brett Johns, who I done a fair share of work in this division, and I want to just keep on adding to that resume.
Yeah, it's exciting.
And your health comes first. I think a lot of people don't look at that.
It's my neck.
Exactly, like health comes first.
It's my neck.
I don't have a forearm fucking strain. It's my fucking neck.
I didn't stub my toe.
Yeah.
Like, it's not a Peter Griffin moment where it's like,
Exactly.
it's my neck.
And like you said, this will all eventually come to an end, and these UFC careers come to an end, and you don't want to go out like that. You need to keep your health first and foremost, and what you're doing is the right move. Absolutely.
For sure.
100%. And at the end of the day, it's like, do you guys want to see someone potentially get paralyzed in the cage? Like,
No.
That's no fun.
Nope.
I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be the first guy to do that. I know I'm the first one to win a belt by DQ, but I sure as hell do not want to be the first one to be paralyzed in the octagon. That's just
facts.
I do not want that to happen. You know, knock on wood, everything gets back. All my CAT scans, my X-rays, my tests came back positive. And again, I'm not injured. It's just I need more time for all the nerves to reconnect from being sliced apart, and just so I can get my endurance. I still have a little bit of atrophy in my tricep, a little bit of weakness, but for the most part, I'm strangling motherfuckers in the room, getting on bars, I'm getting knee bars, I'm getting calf slicers. I'm doing what I do, you know?
Yeah.
I just, like I said, it's about the duration, and I want to be able to go out there and compete for 25 minutes, not for 10, not for 5.
All the rounds.
That seems like that's what people want me to do. Like, I don't duck anybody. I want to fight.
Yep.
I'm here to fight. I'm here to make money.
Do you have a hopeful timeline? We get exclusive here?
If they did December, I think I would have been more than ready to, you know, I think that would have been more adequate time for me to get myself ready, my body ready, just based on where I was, where I am now. I think when they announced the fight, I left Vegas, went back home, started my training camp. I stopped doing PT every day. When I'm here, I'm at the UFC PI 5 days a week, PT, strength and conditioning 2-3 times a week. And I had to stop all that to go back home to get ready for this fight, you know? And I feel like when I did that, I jumped right into the fire, and I kind of you came out of the gates too hot, you know? I think I just never gave my body a time to recover, and I tried to just gas pedal, and my body was not cooperating with me, you know?
Yep.
I brought out that kid Adrian Yanez. You know, I did the right things that I need to get myself ready for this fight, and I think December would have been ideal, but we're neither here or there anymore, so they told me take as much time as I needed, which I respect. And I think if we never did that from the beginning, we wouldn't be in the situation now, you know? But it is what it is. I think they say as long as it's within a year, I feel good now, you know? So I think I could really realistically be ready for December, January, February.
That's right around the corner.
Perfect. Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is like the never-ending training camp.
Yeah.
Since the surgery, PT, training. I have not stopped training. I'm like, it's just going and going. So you could kind of get a little bit of a burnout, you know. And it's just want to make sure I keep the motivation and keep the fire burning, because it's super easy to get.
It's like that slow playing. You don't have that condensed time where you're like in the zone. You know your finish line or whatever it may be. This is just that like slow daily. Like,
it's a grind.
You know?
It's a grind.
It's a lot. It's the human body. At the end of the day, it's the human body, you know. So I'm excited to get back out there. I get to watch these guys. I'm cornering guys, and I just want to compete. I love competing, and I think that's what it's just all about.
When you got home with the belt, did you do anything awesome with it?
When I got home, I left the belt in the octagon.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
When I took it off, I was like not myself. I was like I was 100% concussed. Guy said, you faked the concussion. I'm like, so do you throw up from fake concussions? Like, I don't know. Like, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
All you doctor experts. But
I would say no. Yeah.
Not a doctor, by the way.
Yeah.
Not a doctor.
I got home from the hospital. They did a CAT scan. CAT scans just make sure there's no bleeding on the brain. You can't test for a concussion with a CAT scan. So you guys who think you know, now you know.
Facts.
So I got home. Everyone was there. I had about 30 people at my house. It was nuts. And someone brought out the belt. I didn't know who it was. I think it was Marab, actually. And I was like, holy shit, like, where did this come from? Like, I had no idea. Like, I didn't even remember the belt. I wasn't even thinking about the belt. But he pulled it out. I was like, no, brother. You know, Marab's super nice, super humble guy. You know, he's been there for me from day one, one of my main training partners. And he's like, no, brother, you deserve this. You earned this. You should take a picture with the belt and enjoy this because it's, you know, you earned it. And, you know, he put that in perspective for me. I didn't want to take pictures with it, but he was like, no, take pictures with your friends, family. Everyone came here to see you. I was like, all right. even though I said no, everyone was like, no, you have to. I'm just like, okay. So then they posted the pictures. I didn't post any pictures like, hey, the champ is here, baby. I didn't post nothing like that. But my friends did, and all of a sudden, Peter Yan starts talking shit, saying, oh, he's a faker. I'm like, you dirty freaking piece of shit. Like, you apologize, which I knew you intentionally meant to do that, because he does dirty shit in all his fights. If you go back and look, you'll see him. I'm not saying he's tough. He's mean. He's gritty. And I think that's what makes him who he is. But make no doubt about it. Like, the guy meant to do that he wants to hurt me. Like,
it was clear. It was fairly clear.
It was all the intentions in the world to hurt this guy. He had me hurt. He wanted to really, really put a stamp on it. And unfortunately for him, it was a stupid mistake that was intentional. No matter how you slice it, it was a stupid, intentional mistake. And
did you semi-plan for him to like go off cuff a little bit? Did you plan for that in training camp, since like it's kind of his style?
What's that?
Like him to go off the cuff a little bit and do something crazy?
Well, I know he's had some issues with like, I know with the eye poking thing, because he always posts his fingers out and stuff like that. And I know he had some scuffles with John Dodson. Those guys were going back and forth. But if you watch his fights, he tries to get away with some sly things here and there. And I guess they say if you're not cheating, you're not trying. You know, I remember I tweeted that and someone tried to use that against me.
Man.
Oh, God.
I'm like, the internet is a wacky
Twitter,
place.
Here we go.
It's a crazy place to be. But
So,
I'm just excited to get back out there and do it the right way. Do it the way I envisioned it for so long. Came up short wrestling in college, 2-time All-American, but I never won it. I always wanted to wrestle on that podium, on the main stage, the elevated platform, and compete to try to be one of the best guys in the world for wrestling. Took 4th, took 6th. And I would like to, I won the belt, but I want to do it the way I envisioned it, so everyone could just shut the fuck up.
yeah,
That's
right. That's right.
Yes. Energy, hell yeah.
That's what we need. Speaking of the rematch or defending your title, Jake Paul has been adding these side bets to his fights.
Yeah.
Like making Tyron
Yeah.
Woodley get
Like
a
a
tattoo,
tattoo, yep.
asking Tommy Fury to change his name. If you could add a side bet to your to the next title fight, what would it be? This is on camera, by the way. This will be on Twitter.
I don't know. I'm one to bet on myself. I would actually put my own money up. You know what I mean? Like,
Like some side action money?
yeah, I would put my own money up. I don't know anything else to like really bet. Like,
No, like funny ones.
nah, I'm not really into that.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, I
like
hear you.
Woodley doing that tattoo thing is kind of crazy to me.
Crazy.
It's wild.
Didn't even get it in writing either.
Yeah,
The next fight's not even a for sure thing.
Yes, I'm like, damn, bro, I feel for you.
Yeah.
I feel for you. And I love Woodley. That's my homie. You know?
Yeah.
But it's like, damn, bro, I just could never. Like, I get the payday thing. You could get it removed. Like, I get that, but it's like, I don't know.
It's just a lot.
It's
It's
still
just
on
a
the
lot.
internet
It's a
forever.
Yeah.
But if you could do a side bet, you throw some checks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like
'Cause
true
I'm
bet.
very confident in my abilities. I'm very confident in my skill set and what happened in the last fight. If I wasn't, I wouldn't say what I've been saying for so long. Jan is good, but he's nothing special. If you look at him from a skill standpoint and what he does, and you break it down per fight, his Aldo fight, his fight with Jimmy Rivera, his fight with Uriah Faber, who was getting the better of him until Uriah got cocky and decided to stand in front of him. And we talked about it. He was like, yeah, I started feeling it, and I kind of started to not really like, I don't want to say I don't want to twist his words, but he's like, yeah, I kind of let him lull me to sleep a little bit, and I kind of started feeling the moment and stood in front of him. That's when he caught me. I'm like, yeah, because his reaction time's not the same what it used to be. He's, 40?
He's 43, 42?
42,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
So I'm like, it's just different. A different Uriah Faber that you're fighting. You watch all his other fights, you're like, it's just skill for skill. He's very normal. He's not doing anything above the ordinary, like a TJ Dillashaw who fought Corey Sandhagen. That was a very neck and neck fight where you're like, yo, these are high level guys. You know what I mean? Where they're using footwork, they're using diversity in their strikes. Jan is just, I'm standing in front of you. I'm going to keep trying to walk you down. You can outstrike me as much as you can, but eventually you're going to get tired. I'm like, if that's your strategy every single fight, like when you get a guy who has the endurance, a Sandhagen or a TJ Dillashaw, myself normally, not that last one obviously, even the Jimmy Rivera fight until he got caught with the last 20, 30 seconds of round 1 and round 2, he won round 3. So you're telling me these guys can all beat you just with a simple strategy of just don't let you walk them down, use angles, use footwork, touch you up, get out of there. I mean, it's it's worked for him. Congrats, but I don't think he's a normal guy.
We'll get the wire info for the added side bet for the rematch. You know what I'm saying? We'll be ready.
Yeah.
We'll be ready.
And that's not talking shit. I'm just analyzing the way I analyze
of
any
course.
fight.
As you should.
Yeah.
I think he's good, but I just don't see what people are saying. Oh my God, he's such a head and shoulders better than you. I'm like, where? Just show me where. Outside of that fight, show me where. If I can keep that pace, which I have, and I got video footage of that, sparring with 2-3 different people, and keeping that same energy that I did in the first round. Like I said, when I'm on, I'm on. That guy doesn't touch me. I don't think that guy touches me at all.
I like that.
But
I'm ready for.
I'm ready,
for
bro.
2022.
I'm hyped, bro.
Let's go.
I'm
All right, I got this quote from Instagram from you, and I want to see what you think about it.
Yep.
You said that you will prove the only thing that matters in the UFC is blue-collared hard work.
Mm-hmm.
No Dana White privileges were ever given to you. What are
100%.
those privileges, and who is getting them?
Peter Yan got a privilege. He got
Yeah.
a handout of a title fight, fighting a guy who's coming off of a loss in the division.
There you go.
That's the major one right there. I mean, you could talk about all these other guys who get pushed up the rankings by beating guys that were ranked like lower in the 10 to 15 bracket and then getting bumped into the top 5. You can see it here and there. I'm not saying this is like not for everybody, but you get like even O'Malley, who's getting these fights that are like tailor-made for him to look like a superstar. I never got those privileges when I came up. I fought my third pro fight, third UFC fight, Takeya Mizugaki, after supposed to fight Manny Gambiran, unranked guy, to fight a guy who was ranked 6th in the world. And I'm over here like, yo, I watched this guy fight the who's of this division, and he's a good striker. I can't really strike for shit. Hopefully I can get the fight to the ground. I took that chance. I gambled the dice, and I got to pay the same exact amount of money. From there, I've been fighting guys in the top 10 and top 15 for the rest of my career. You know, so I've been thrown into the fire. I've been tested. You know, where you got some of these guys that kind of just, like I said, the Dana White privileges, getting away from certain matchups and things like that. Like, I want to fight everybody, you know? So at the end of the day, it is what it is. And I like to prove that, man, as long as you work hard and you truly do believe in yourself, anything can happen. And that's just how I've been my entire life. I've never been given a handout with anything, you know? So I've been dealt, and I'm not saying pity me, woe is me, but everyone's had their fair share of ups and downs in life. And I try to just instill that, especially when I was coaching kids at the high school level, college level. Like, you take what you've given, stop making excuses, you put your nose down, you work hard. If you got to make a little ruckus and make people pay attention, do what you got to do. But at the end of the day, don't skip the hard work, because that's what's going to get you to where you want to be.
Love that.
Are there more politics behind the scenes of UFC that the fans just really don't know about?
100%.
Yeah.
100%. It's a business. It's the entertainment business. And if you want to get paid, you want people to know who you are, you want the UFC to like you,
Chris is in the
want them
background
to push
laughing.
you, you have to do certain things that's going to put you in a spot where they will give you a little bit more favoritism. You know,
Sure.
I'm trying to pick the right words. At the end of the day, they don't make you win a fight. They don't make you lose a fight. They
Facts.
can just give you the opportunity, and what you do with it is on you. That's why when people knock Conor McGregor, I'm like, I don't care what people want to say about Conor. He did the work. He did all the talking. He did all the promotion. That's hard to do. Stay in character. Get people to want to do stuff. Come up with all the scripts that he's got, the punchliners, super witty.
Yeah.
Like, this guy, he's great. And he was knocking guys out and calling his shot. Like, how can you not like that?
For sure, for sure.
I mean, don't get me wrong.
It's a
Conor-
total
that's-
package,
Yeah, he's Mr. Entertainment for sure.
Yeah.
No matter what happens with it. Are you at a point now where you can pretty much call your shots on who and when you fight?
Nah, I don't think so.
Yeah.
And that's just being honest. I don't think so. I don't think I'm that guy yet. But
the cool part is they got to come fight you now.
that,
right?
that's the one good thing.
Yes,
so I know
absolutely.
after the next one, as long as it's a one where, you know, even like Brandon Moreno, and we talked about this on Instagram and even in person, he messaged me after he beat Figueiredo, and we spoke. He asked me like what I thought about, like, how did I calm my nerves and stuff, and like going into a title fight, what do I think? And I was very taken back, because I'm like, why are you asking me? Like, this is before his fight. I'm like, bro,
Yeah.
you're so. I thought, like, just watching him, I go, and this is how I am. I break down fights, I analyze skill sets. I'm like, dude, you're so fucking good. You're about to fight this guy who gets away with swinging punches from his pockets, like, and has a good guillotine. If he doesn't get the guillotine, then he gets tired. I'm like, he's lost to average men. And let me not say average, because everyone in the UFC is tough. You
Sure.
know, they're the best of the best,
Still a
right?
war,
So, you know,
yeah.
I don't want to disrespect anybody, but he's lost to guys with lesser skill.
Right.
You know, so, yeah, he battled back and got himself to a title shot, won the title. Okay, great. But I'm like, your skill set, I'm like, dude, you got it going on, bro. You just have to believe in it. And I kind of told him just like that, like, you can do whatever the hell you want in there. It's just up to you to go out there and get it done. And he went out there, got it done, and we spoke after his fight, maybe a couple of days later or a week later, something like that. And he was just telling me, like, thank you for the words and whatnot. And I'm like, dude, you don't have to mention that, bro. You're the man.
Yeah.
Like, that what you did is what I've known you could have done the whole time, because I believe in your skill set and just how good you are as an athlete, how well you train, how hard you train, and good things happen to good people, you know. So
For sure.
that's kind of how I felt about that whole thing.
Love that.
Do you still get nervous fighting in front of thousands of people?
I'm an entertainer, man. I actually enjoy the show. I
Yeah, it gives you
love
energy.
off of it,
I
right?
love it, man. Like, and I always tell people, they're like, do you like it better with or without the fans? And I'm like, it doesn't matter, because I feel at the end of the day, I know people are watching.
Sure.
And at the end of the day, if I was in a dark alley and trying to walk home, and one or two guys start walking up to me, hey, give me your money, type of thing, like, hey, man, it's going down right now. Like,
Yeah.
we're fighting. That's just it. Like, I'm not going to stop because there's no one there, and going to fight less hard, you know? Like, I'm
Yeah.
going to fight my heart out regardless, because for me, it's like a life or death situation.
For sure.
And that's the way I kind of approach the game. You got to be ready to die in there. And I remember even my Pedro Munoz fight, I think he really thought he was going to punk me. And I had to tell him, like, dude, I'm ready to die here tonight. So if you think you got some kid that you think, oh, I'm from the favela, I'm so tough, I'm like, I get that, but don't think there aren't tough guys from New York too. Like,
Yeah.
bro, we give it up the same way you give it up. Like,
Yeah.
100%.
You know, so that's just my mentality with everything, man. You got to give it your all. You got to work hard and believe in yourself. And I think for the next one, man, I'm just so excited to get out there. I'm a showman. I like to put on a show. I'm like pumping up the crowd. I feed off of that, and I think it makes for better entertainment. It's always nerve-wracking because you're like, I got to mentally prepare myself. Like, all right, man, it's time to go. Like, you got to be sharp. You got to be on point. You can't make no mistakes. Or make the least amount of mistakes, and you should get your hand raised tonight.
Yep.
I mean, the feeling after a win
Dang it,
in the UFC octagon must just
Be the baddest man on the planet. That's how you gotta feel, bro. Are you
Yeah,
crazy?
right. Like, you can't
That's what I
replicate that
imagine.
feeling, that
Nah.
moment, right?
Nah, I try to tell people it's such an addicting feeling. Like, I always talk about this, like, retiring. People think when I said I wanted to retire at 32, that was really young. 32 now. Now I'm like, I got the surgery. I feel like I got a fresh lease on my athletic career. Like, I can go a lot longer. I haven't taken much damage in my career. Like, it depends on how my next few fights go, of course. But to go out there and win under those bright lights, there's nothing else like it. It's such a surreal thing. It's just like you said, you feel like the man, you know? And you want to get that rush of dopamine every single time that you can.
That's
because,
that real Spartan stuff,
yeah,
right?
This
You
is
know?
like modern day gladiators. That's how I feel. And I always tell everybody, like, when you get to the UFC, you are the cream of the crop. You are the best of the best. Even though you might have gotten there by a little bit of luck with some favoritism, or your manager might know somebody pulling some strings. If you get there, you could win. Hey, man, no one could ever take that away
dub
from
is
you
a
on the
dub,
biggest
man.
stage out there.
Yeah.
Because some people, they have a hard time to get the UFC jitters, and they can never really get their feet underneath them inside the octagon, and that's a real thing. So to be able to make those adjustments, use those bright lights as fuel, and go out there and perform at your best that you do in the training room, it's not easy to do, man. You have to be mentally tough up there. And you should see our sparring sessions. We have people on Saturday afternoons, Saturday mornings, all standing around the cage. It's almost like Fight Club.
Yeah.
Do this, do this.
That's
Like,
rad.
especially when Marab and I are going at it, everyone's just like dialed in, like, oh man, this is crazy, you know. And we watch our sparring session, we're like, yo, this is just super intense shit, you know.
I love that, man. It's like the mentality going into it though is so cool because it's every day or every fight it's a game 7, right? Like you're there to win and it's all over after this. So figure it out.
I think there's also something to say about individual sports.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? There's just like the
it's
passion that you have from a team sport is like only so much you can do in a situation, but to
Yeah.
truly be
on an island.
1v1, that's
Yeah.
it. Just you, no backup, no help, no nothing.
Yeah.
You know, that mentality is just different, right? You
I
go
love
and
it.
have to be ultra confident in what your abilities you're bringing to the table, or it's going to be exposed.
Or it's over. Yeah, it's over. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything's on you.
100%.
You can't lean on anybody. I mean, of course, you got your coaches and stuff, and sometimes it feels like they're your third eye. But for the most part, what you feel in terms of your opponent being in front of you, how strong you feel they are, their reaction time, your reaction time, whether or not they're biting on your fakes or things like that. It's like so much that goes into it that people don't really understand unless you've been at that high level and could experience it for yourself to know what it is.
Do you think that competition has just drastically increased with the popularity of the sport over the past 10 years?
Oh, 100%.
I mean, like, the
Like,
amount of
people you would
people
never even have.
that know it's a real career now versus 10 years ago.
Yes.
I mean, now it's like, okay, that's a legitimate career path. I can go put my time,
Yeah.
effort.
It's not
and
just scrappers that
into this,
were always
right?
around,
You know?
you know?
Yeah. And I got to the UFC 7 years ago. So it's so different now with the talent pool. For us as smaller guys, from bantamweight, from flyweight, all the way through maybe 170, those are the guys who are just a little bit too small for the NFL, maybe a little bit too small or short in terms of stature for the NBA, that type of thing. So in terms of high-level sports, you have a lot more of a pool of talent versus the heavyweight division that could be a little bit thinner because all those guys, like, screw this, I ain't getting punched in the head. I'm going to go play football. I ain't getting punched in the head. I'm going to go shoot a basketball or play baseball or whatever. There's just a lot
not
more.
many in 135.
Oh,
yeah,
no,
not many. Like,
yeah, you're not seeing a lot of me's out there on the
Hardwood,
with the helmet
yeah.
and
yeah,
shoulder pads.
linebacker Sterling. You know what I mean?
It's not happening.
No.
So you see a lot more of us, but you see the evolution of the sports. Like the guys who were great at one time, it just keeps evolving. Like the technique. I look at it now. I'm like, man, I came through Cage Fury and the guys were so good back then. And I look at it now. I'm like, yo, holy shit! Like these guys are so good. I would hate to have to come through that gauntlet now. So I'm like, you're almost fighting UFC ready guys on the regional circuit.
Yeah.
Before you get to the UFC, I'm like, that's good and bad. It's like, man, you're going to have a much tougher time getting to where you want to be. But
Once you get there.
once you get there, you know you're going to be ready. So it's just a lot of competition.
I think that's just the evolution of sport in general,
Yes.
right? Because if you look at football, it's not played the same way it used to be played. Basketball, there's pure freaks out there now in high school doing crazy things that even the NBA guys are like, what is going on here? So I think it's the same thing in that world, right? The more and more this evolves, I think you'll get more like smarter fighters, quicker fighters, more agile. It's gonna be. It's
a
cool to
rational
see.
decision now to say, hey, I'm gonna be a pro fighter or like a pro MMA, fighter.
For sure.
Versus 10 years ago, it was like, all right, man.
You're
I
in wrestling,
guess.
and then
Like,
you're
go
gonna
ahead,
wrestle.
you know, like,
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you can if you want. Did you ever have anything else you wanted to do? By the way, was this always the
NBA? I thought my doctor told me when I was growing up that it's like, yeah, your son is going to be 6'5" or something like that. And I used to believe it. And
Don't worry, it's coming next year. I swear.
yeah,
Bro, I
and
feel the
we'd-
same way.
Yeah, we'd go every year and like, yeah, Oscar Slaughter's in the knee. He's going to be really tall. And then I got older. I was like, what the hell, dude? Like,
I haven't went anywhere, damn it.
Lied about my whole life.
yeah, 5'3" throughout
You
all of high
promised me.
school.
I've been telling everyone I'm going to the NBA. I'm screwed.
I would work so hard. I'm like, I just can't. These guys are just too big, man. I'm
Yeah.
just this little guy. And I tried out for basketball for the last time, got cut. And the wrestling coach told me, he's like, listen, man, you're going to be 5'3", 120 pounds soaking wet for the rest of your life. So just come out for the rest of the team. I did. And I had so much fun because it's like you're competing against guys your size and one-on-one. What you do is what you put into it is what you get out of it.
Yep.
And there's no better feeling than that, knowing that you worked hard, you reap the rewards. There's no one telling you you can't get to this position or you can't have this position in your job because that guy, I like him more, so I'm giving it to him, or he looks better, or I like his wife, it's nicer to look at, so you're not getting that position. So there's no politics in it. It's I win, I move on.
Yeah.
You don't win, good, welcome to the Wrestlebacks. So hopefully you could take third place or something like that.
That's so crazy. Well, like you're through as far as your past goes, we want to talk about your boy Jon Jones.
Yeah.
You met Jon Jones in college, and he really helped you kind of get into MMA from wrestling.
Yeah.
He's obviously had some notable struggles. Do you have any insight on what his future is in the UFC? Are you still talking to him a lot lately?
No. He actually texted me after my title fight and said, like, I have some pointers I would love to share with you. Here's my number if you're willing to listen, kind of thing. And took his number, sent him a text, as usual, didn't respond. Yeah, he's done that to me so many times. I'm like, bro,
man.
you are the worst guy. Not like obviously I'm joking, but I'm like, I know he's a busy man. And I even texted him one time on Facebook, like, I don't want to get too much stuff because I don't want to make him seem like whatever. I'm not looking to kick a man while he's down.
Yeah, no,
100%.
for sure.
So we've just had that conversation multiple times where it was like, dude, I feel like I'm in a revolving door with you all the time. But when I see him, it's nothing but love. Hey man, come hang out. Hey man,
That's dope.
So it's always cool. How you doing? How the family? So he's cool in that regards. But I always know like our relationship that's where it's at. I do wish the guy the best.
Yeah.
I wish he gets the help he needs, and I've always known since college that he can get a little crazy.
Wow,
When you have the success and the eyes on you way back then, and you're the man in high school from your brother being a stud football player, both your brothers, you being a New York State champ, and your brother being a New York State champ, and there's a lot, man. There's a lot that comes with that, especially if you're not being punished for things early on. It's easy to have those bad habits kind of follow you on as you get older, and I think that's probably what happened.
Yeah.
And he's probably left a lot of those things unchecked. But I do think he's just like anybody else. The only thing is they're not living their life under a microscope like the way we are.
Yeah.
I get so paranoid when I go out because I feel like I can't always be myself, knowing that people might have a camera out.
Yeah,
for sure.
Crazy.
There's one time I'm hanging out at the hotel here in Vegas. Someone posts something of me walking with my drink on Twitter, and I'm just like, that was so weird. Like,
Where did you get that from?
you could have just said hello. It could have been much more of a normal thing instead of you taking this creepy video of me walking and like, I see Sterling at the airport, and I just took a picture underneath my armpit. It's like, bro,
That is weird, man.
why are
It's just
people like that?
strange,
Like,
yo.
you don't if you wouldn't want someone doing that to you, why do you think it's normal to do that to people because they're of? I never know, because I would never call myself a celebrity. I never say I'm of status quo. People look at me like that, but for me, I'm just like I'm the same guy from Unidale, the same old kid on the block, living life the way I always did. So, I think he just needs the right people around him. And even back then when we were in college, he had a lot of not so great of people around him. And
Sure.
Might just rubbed off.
Yeah, I just think you need someone to tell you no. Hey. That's not okay.
Here's the line.
Yeah, here's the line, and when you get to that point, you need someone who's going to check you, If I go out and I get to a point where I'm starting to do irrational things because I'm under the influence, I hope to God my friends are there to tell me, like, bro, you're wilding right now.
Yeah.
Like, that's going to end up somewhere, or this is only going to make things bad for you in the morning when you wake up. And I'm just like, those are the type of people you need around you, And I don't know why he drives anymore. If you're going to go out and drink,
Why are you getting into a damn car, dude?
That's my one thing for him. Like, dude, you don't need to drive. You're rich. Like,
You're rich.
You're rich,
Like,
dude.
Get a car.
Pay one of your friends for the night to come hang out with you and
Limo's
drive.
$100, by the way.
Yeah.
It's not a lot.
I don't know. I mean, I can understand you want to drive your own car. You got a Rolls Royce. You want to drive. You want to stunt. But hey, man, you don't need to. You don't even have to touch the wheel if you don't want to.
Yeah.
Hey, Jon Jones.
We get it.
come
You're
on.
rich.
Yeah, we get it.
Yeah, we get
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
That's just my mentality. I'm like,
Yeah,
I feel
if
you.
I had that kind of money way back then, I mean, bro,
Yeah.
you're not gonna say. I go out a lot. Well, not so much anymore. But when I do go out, I drink, man. I have a good time.
Yeah.
So
Let loose.
got to take an Uber.
Yeah, for sure.
And
It
even those,
sounds like we need a night, though. It sounds like we need a party night going on. This is what's
Anytime
coming.
you want to hang out, man, we're here. We're here.
Chris and I had a
Fine.
party night on Saturday. We went hard.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, we
Yeah,
did.
we did.
Yeah, we
did. Yeah, we did. Yeah, I threw
Jeff
a
Dillon's
nice
the
little
best
party
bars
on
in town,
Saturday.
for sure.
We talked about like the Jake Paul, Logan Paul situation. You're really close with Tyron Woodley. What other UFC champ you think could go in the ring and just completely take an absolute win against them?
take a win against who?
Against Logan or Jake, any one of them.
You know,
in a boxing match.
They keep fighting guys smaller than them.
That's true.
And people keep forgetting that. They're like, oh, Woodley's a world champ. I'm like, yeah, but he's also giving up like 30 pounds.
Yeah.
Correct.
That's a big deal when it comes to punching power.
Especially in boxing.
Yeah.
That's why there's
And
weight
range,
classes.
yeah.
Boxers in the MMA space right now, let's say like a 205er. I don't know. I would actually have to take a. Adesanya, I think, would do really well.
Izzy.
I think Adesanya would probably piece them up both pretty bad.
Yeah. And he's kind of his stance is kind of unorthodox.
Jake said he wanted
Yeah.
that fight too, which is
Against
like,
Adesanya.
You're tripping.
Crazy.
I think it's just more talk.
Sure,
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, I think he knows if it was going to actually happen. He's not saying he's afraid, but I think he knows if he gets in there with a guy like Izzy who can actually strike. He's not a Ben Askren, and I love Ben Askren, but it's not Ben Askren.
He had no business being in there.
Yeah, the guy can actually throw punches, and he's just about your size. I think that's more of a fair fight and an actual one that won't go into what we've watched the last few, you know. So
Yeah, for sure.
Just chaos.
I agree.
yeah, it's like celebrity deathmatch.
Yeah, which is classic, by the way, but real life.
Yeah.
But on the reverse, what non-MMA athlete or celebrity do you think could step in the octagon and actually do some damage?
I don't know anybody, unless they've actually trained.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone always sends
fair.
the memes about Myles Garrett just because he's so huge.
He's a monster.
You know what I mean? But I wonder if he'd actually throw a punch. I have no idea.
What weight?
I mean, Myles
He's
Garrett
like
is
260?
Yeah.
ridiculous. But any weight class. I don't know if you know any celebrities or other athletes that you've seen
Even train a little bit,
before
yeah.
that you're like, oh, wow, guy's got actual hands.
Or can even grapple. I don't know.
I don't know anyone off the top of my head
Yeah, I
that's
can't think
like
of anybody either.
high level enough where I'd be like, yo, dude, you could have, or you could. Nah.
It's
Nah.
tough because the guys in the UFC that excel on the ground, like yourself and some others, you guys have been wrestling since high school, college, etc.
Years.
Same with the people striking. They've been practicing striking for years and years and years. To just throw a regular random athlete just because they're athletic into a ring or an octagon, it's tough, dude.
So when Nate Robinson,
yeah,
when
it's
Nate Robinson
fucking
had
tough,
chance.
dude. It's tough.
That was so bad.
that was
You
so
know?
bad.
I felt bad for him.
Of course.
Yeah.
It's like, sorry, man, you let them scum you for that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Got a payday,
shit-
but god damn it, you fell for it.
But by the way, so much media backed him like, oh, well, he's an athlete, and he just got absolutely destroyed. That argument's now dead
Yeah, for sure.
because of Nate Robinson.
for sure.
Man,
It might work for someone else, but not for him. He killed the argument.
people think that this sport is for everyone, and that's the part where people don't realize you will absolutely get hurt doing this. Whether it's MMA or boxing, like, we don't go in there to play. Just like that. We don't go in there to play. I'm trying to put your lights out and have you staring up at the lights and someone waving and checking if you're okay with the doctors in your face. That's
Yeah.
what people are trying to do to you. Separate you from your consciousness. And I think I have friends back home who go, man, if I fought Jon Jones, he tried to put his legs around my neck to try to put me in a triangle choke. I'll just use all the strength I got, pick him up and slam. I'm like,
Okay. Yeah.
Bro.
Okay. Yeah.
why are
that's
you
not
like
happening.
this? Why are people like this?
Yeah. Okay.
Delete my number immediately. I don't want to
no
hear your
chance.
commentary.
It was like, nah, you don't understand. I'm crazy. I'm like,
You're crazy for thinking that.
You probably,
Yeah.
I
You're
can only
crazy for
imagine
thinking
how
that.
much you hear that stuff.
all the
actually.
time. All the time.
I can only imagine.
You don't, it's actually,
You know what I would have done? You know what I would have done?
yeah. It's so bad. It's so bad because it's so prevalent that people really think like this. I'm like, do you not understand how much we train and what we do to get to this position just to get into physical shape like this and to actually learn how to defend ourselves
Yeah.
and inflict damage on people? And you think you could just come off the couch and just do that?
You are a postman, and this is a
Yeah, bro.
warrior.
I bench pressed yesterday. I'm sure I could have gone in there and
Yeah,
whooped
yeah.
someone's ass. You know what I mean?
No chance.
It's crazy. Even like the Tyson Fury fight, I was sitting down watching that, and I had a bunch of people from Alabama behind me, and they were going nuts and talking so much shit the entire fight, coaching how he should have done this, why you keep letting him do that to you, man, he not hitting them with this. I'm just like, oh my God. I'm like, you guys should get out there and go do it.
Yeah.
Show him how it's done.
Get
Be
in
his
there.
coach.
Get
or
in
go
there.
in there and do it yourself. Get to where he's at.
Oh,
Please.
my Lord.
Please.
Yeah, I can't even fathom.
The ignorance is just like, oh,
Outrageous,
man,
right?
so bad. So
If
bad.
there's one skill set or, I guess, talent that you would give advice to an average person like the three of us, we're not fighters.
Yeah.
I mean, when's the last time you were in a fucking fist fight, Lo?
I don't know.
Jeff?
Years.
Been a long time.
Yeah, never, maybe in fucking
Never?
college. I was like, I don't know, 18, 19?
Yeah.
If there was one skill set you can give advice to a normal Joe to maybe learn to protect themselves in not a street fight, but maybe like a bar brawl, what would it be? Would it be wrestling? Would it be learn how to just do some sort of stand-up? Jiu-jitsu?
Martial art. Yeah.
I'm stuck between wrestling and jiu-jitsu because
I agree.
yeah, because I think wrestling is good because you can foot sweep, you could control someone's arm if they swing, you could pass it by, take the back, lift them up, dump them on the head, take them down, tackle them, subdue them. Or with jiu-jitsu, you can grab the jacket, grab inside the lapel, pull it in, choke them while standing.
Oh, we're talking about like nightclub brawl.
slow
Here we go.
depth,
Okay,
slow
got it.
depth,
Sure.
slow depth.
I like
Go to
that. I
sleep.
like that.
yeah.
I mean, yeah, because for the most part,
jacket move is
a
nice.
lot of bar brawls or whatever end up on the ground anyway.
Yeah,
For
You
sure.
know?
Everybody wants to have hands. And
Yeah,
then
nah, fuck
nobody
that,
ever
bro.
You miss once,
Yeah,
you
no,
go to the ground.
I'm not getting hit. No, I'm grabbing you.
For sure.
It usually ends up the open face swat. You know,
Don't
with
break
the
your
ear.
hands punching like this, please.
Oh my God.
That's when the normal drunk guy he comes at you like this.
Oh yeah. Hey Chris, when's the last fist fight you were in?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, oh, I got punched. in the face.
2014.
Wow. See?
There we go.
It's all going down.
I heard about that actually.
Chris has got some secrets too. We have an audience today, by the way, everybody. By the way, new UFC star being born in front of our eyes, Paddy the Baddy. What do you think of Paddy the Baddy?
I think he's good. He talks a big game. Some technical things that he definitely needs to tune up, but that's why you have those type of fights early on. Work your way up, and as long as you keep talking that big game, keep delivering, I think he's a very exciting fighter for a lot of people to watch. He's good for the sport. We need characters. We need showmen. We need
For sure.
people that are going to make others want to tune in, and I think that's what he's bringing to the cage.
Barstool's going to multiply it times 1,000,000 now, too. That he's
I heard
like,
he was doing something with them.
He
he's
just
like
signed,
Barstool,
yeah.
like a big deal as like a official Barstool-sponsored athlete. Like a 7-figure deal, apparently.
Good for him. That's
With
the
Barstool
character and
Sports.
personality he's
to do
talking
what?
about.
I don't
They're
know.
like sponsored by, I don't know, they just he just whole interview with Dave Portnoy, the whole thing. No idea.
I don't get it, but like, what is he gonna? It's not like he's not being an analyst or something. So
No,
if
I
that's
think
not
he's
what
just
he's
a
doing. I don't
spokesman, I guess, for Barstool and all of their stuff.
Hey man, whatever floats to their boat. I
More
guess.
power
All
to
power
you.
to
Yeah.
him, man.
As long as it's putting money in his pockets, I guess.
I'm sure it is now. By the way, since you're a Vegas local now, you have some favorite spots in Vegas. You can tell the people. What are your go-to spots?
I go to Mas Por Favor.
Hey.
My
There you
guy J Rock's one of his spots.
Yep.
I go there. I go to his spot in Ilya.
Yeah.
Elia.
Yeah.
I always mispronounce
Yeah,
that.
Ilya, yeah.
No one knows what it's called.
Yeah.
I don't mind like PTs and distill. Those are always like quick drinks.
For
when
sure.
You want to watch the game.
Yeah,
like
solid
little
bar
dive
food,
bars.
yep.
Yeah. There was another one I just started going to. Oh, Bella Vita, right on Blue Diamond Road. Their food is actually amazing.
It's
I've been
packed.
there.
The patio that they got,
Yeah,
it gets
yeah.
packed,
It's
dude.
always like.
It's
been there.
fire. It's,
Haven't been
yeah,
there.
it just
I gotta check
opened maybe
that
a
out.
couple months ago. Yeah.
And just so you guys know, he hires nothing but bombshells for us. He does
So
a
I'm
great
going to
job.
Bellevue
Just
tonight, guys.
baddies
All right.
everywhere.
It's,
Walking
really-
around.
it's just it's very distracting.
There we go.
But you know, I'm
Big
you know,
cosign right here.
Obviously, I'm taken. You know,
Sure,
so,
sure,
yeah.
sure. Yeah,
So
we
I'm
all
just
are,
saying,
except for
I'll
Lo.
go check it out, guys. Don't worry. I got
Yeah, we'll
it.
send low.
Oh, Becca's too. Becca's right by my house. I go there a lot.
Southern Highlands?
By Tucson Highlands, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, right by
I gotta
those
check that out.
apartments. I go there a lot. I'm still looking for like go-to places, you know, so I'm
We'll hit you
still,
with the list.
Still new to the area. McFadden's is cool.
Fire.
Yeah, I like that. Farm Table. I've been to a bunch of different places, man. There's a lot of good places, but I'm just looking for my local spot where I can go there, get hammered for cheap,
Yeah.
and just be a degenerate when I want to be a degenerate.
I
you know?
like
Yeah,
that.
for sure.
I like
You
that.
need that.
I love it.
You need your go-to spot, right? You
Yeah,
need your 100% go-to spot. I love that. I mean, I don't think is there anything else, by the way, that you want to do in Vegas you haven't got to do yet? Any big things you need to check off the list? Can we help you check anything
Yeah,
off this
we-
list here?
We got a good network around
Yeah.
here, around these parts.
Maybe a helicopter tour.
Oh.
I want to go to Grand Canyon. Haven't gone there yet.
Can be arranged.
Yeah. Maverick.
There's a lot. There's a lot to do out here, man.
Man, there
There's a
is.
ton.
You know, there's so much to do. And you know, I'm just so busy. Like once I start training, the day gets going. Like I just don't have the energy to go out and explore.
anything, yeah.
I've gone to like the archery ranges and stuff like that. I've been to gun ranges. I'm gonna get my gun license. I definitely need to do that. I want to start shooting shit. You know,
Yeah, for sure.
not like
Absolutely.
you know,
got plenty to do.
obviously
Yeah,
like targets.
No, yeah. Obviously not human beings. A target. We'll do the targets.
Just to clarify.
Just
Make sure we're on the
I'm
same
not crazy.
page.
I'm not-
Just to clarify. Well, guys, make sure you follow Aljamain at Funkmaster MMA on social
Yes,
media.
sir.
Check out his podcast, The Weekly Scraps. My man, this was a great episode. Thank you for coming on.
Yeah, appreciate
Thank you
man.
guys.
Let's go.
Thank you.
At
Thank
the
you.
Residency Pod on Instagram. We'll see you next week.
Later, guys.